Alright chicos, vamos a repasar los verbos. I just want to take a second to review verbs for you so you have this video resource, especially those of you who are online and not in class. I think it's really important that you have this to refer to. So we're just going to go through this review sheet from Spanish 1. If you're struggling with verbs, I just ask that you reach out for help because it's really important that you learn these. Remember we have this verb chart here. I encourage you to have this out when you take your quizzes because in class we're going to have it out when we take our quiz on Friday. It's super important that you learn this verb chart, right? So we know yo is I, tu is you, él, ella, usted goes in the singular box. It's he, she, and you formal. We have nosotros, which is we. Vosotros is y'all, and then ellos, ellas is they, which is plural, and then ustedes is you guys, right? So you must learn this verb chart before you can do anything. And then all you do is just plug in the verb, right? So yo, this is always your yo box. This is always your yo box, always your tu box, always your L box, right? So you need to learn this chart before you can do anything, okay? I'm going to set that right over here so we have that to refer to if we need to. So let's just go through here and do some verb conjugations here. Oopsies, okay? So vivir is an IR verb, right? So we've done ER verbs, IR verbs, and AR verbs so far in class. So an IR verb, what that looks like. So we're going to have, in the yo box, we're going to viv, drop the ending. So you always drop the AR, the IR, or the ER, add the ending. We know all of our IR and ER verbs are almost the same, right? So yo ends in O. Tu ends in S, right? So we have O, S, A, so we have vive, drop that IR, add the ending, vive. Now be careful here, right? So it's an IR verb, so it has to be vivimos, vivis, right? Those are the only two differences. If it's an ER verb, it would be amos and ice, and then vive. Okay? Cocinar is an AR verb, so our endings are a little bit different. Yo always ends in O, right? So we always have here is cocino, right? Ends in O. It's hard to read, sorry, sloppy handwriting. Then we have cocinas, because we have that AS. Then we have cocina. Then we have cocinamos. So AR verbs are easy, right? Super fácil. Cocinais and cocinan. So again, chicos, you're just dropping that ER, AR, IR, adding the ending, right? So for all of our AR verbs, we have O, as, inapropriado, don't swear in my class. O, as, a, amos, ice, and on, right? All of your AR verbs end with those endings. Same thing over here, we have ER, IR verbs, right? We have O, S, A, and then of course for our IR verbs, we have emos. For our ER verbs, we have amos. We have is, and then ice, and then of course your same endings, right? So just memorize these charts and you're gonna be super successful with verbals. Now tener is a little tricky, but you know this from Spanish 1. Remember, this is a tricky go verb. It's also a stem changer, right? We'll practice that more. So we have tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, and then tienen, right? So this is a boot verb. It's also a go verb, which we'll kind of tackle more tomorrow. But make sure you're aware of those conjugations, right? Again, memorize this lovely little chart here and figure out where they fit in. So how do we apply this now to some examples, okay? So I'm going to keep the charts up there just so you can see them. But let's look at some examples here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see these a little bit better. Let's see if I can zoom with this. Okay, perfect. So, looking at numero uno, right? Looking at number 1. Let me see if I can just scroll my computer quick. Sorry about that. Alright, so if we look at number 1 together. So, ella. So the first thing you're going to do is ask yourself, okay, ella, okay, I know ella. Ella is in this box, right? Ella is in this box, our singular box. So it has to be either a or a. We're going to look at the verb now. The verb is dibujar. Dibujar. Okay, so AR verb, ella. All you're going to do is drop the AR, add the ending. Find your ella box. This is my ella box. Dibujar becomes dibuja. Okay? Looking at the next one, just scroll out a little bit here. I zoomed in a little too far. Comprender is your verb. Comprender is your verb, okay? So it's an ER verb. So ella y tú. Okay, ella y tú. So this is where it gets a little complicated, right? A little complicated. So we have ella y tú. Ella y tú. So y tú, it's en-you. Look at this chart, right? You need to learn it. Anytime we have y tú, it's always vosotros. So we're in the vosotros box. Just looking at ice or is or ice. Okay, so we have comprender is an ER verb. So we're going to have comprendáis. See how that works there? So figure out the subject, the verb, and then find the box. Okay? So ellos is our subject. We know that ellos is this box, right? Our plural box is on the right side, that bottom corner. Ellos, okay? Our verb is aprender. Again, that's an ER verb. So ellos, drop that ER, add the ending. Ellos, drop the ER, add the ending. We have aprenden. Looking at this one, Juan and Alicia. Juan and Alicia, is that more than one person or one person? That's what you have to ask yourself. So obviously Juan and Alicia is two people, right? So it's going to be plural. So it's another way to say ellos because it's plural. So we're in our plural box. Our verb is tener. Cuidado, careful here. Tener is super irregular. So tener, we're going to use tienen. Because again, we're in that EM box. Julio is one person, right? One person, singular. It's going to be our singular box. We have a and a. Julio. Our verb is creer. Ooh, tricky. Is an ER verb. It's a regular ER verb, right? So we're going to drop our ER, add our ending. So we have cre, Julio, a. See how that works? Bien? Okay, chicos. So I'm going to post more review for you, but I just want to give you a little kind of refresher in case you are missing this in class. If you have any questions, we can set up a Zoom during period 11, which is my planning period. That's at the end of the day, if that works for you. Or just send me a message or reminder, an email, and I can kind of help you out, give you some extra practice, okay? Quiz on Friday. Adios, chicos.